Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the round review. This time I'm going to be reviewing round 19. Sorry, I do have a frog in my throat. Round 19. How was round 19? Let's talk about it. Make sure my mic's on. Yes, it is. It was categorized once again by a few upsets. I got 5 out of 9 tips right this round, which is, okay, but could be a hell of a lot better, that's for sure. We started off with an upset against Essendon. Adelaide got a 2-point victory. This is game of the round, I think, by a mile. 113 to 115. High scoring, high flying. Very controversial with the umpires clearly, on Essendon's side. I want to take a look at the freeze for and against. This might absolutely bite me in the arse here. Yeah, Adelaide had 5 less free kicks. Anyway, this was a super funny game because it means Essendon are officially in 8th. They are so close to outside the 8, and they have a super hard draw coming up. And most people, including myself, have them just missing out on the 8 now. This was a must-win game against a 5th last, 14th placed Adelaide Crows at home with a considerable lead at different margins. Yes, they did claw it back when Adelaide got a high lead, but to be in the lead in the last quarter for most of it and to concede the last 2 goals of the game was just not good enough. A couple points late, but in the end, Adelaide get the dub. And although it means nothing for Adelaide, it means a lot for Essendon and a lot of shit. Play of the match was definitely Ben Keays. I thought Ben Keays was absolutely outstanding with 5 goals. The Giants beat Gold Coast by 39 points, What this means is the Giants are now in 5th and they're looking likely to charge into that top 4. They do have a difficult run, I think, personally, but they're looking primed back into the form we all thought the Giants would show this season. For Gold Coast, with a percentage of 103, 1.5 wins outside the 8, they're looking unlikely to make it, just given their poor away form, but they still can. It's just dependent on a couple of those away games, and will they get the W there? Good players in this Giants and Gold Coast game, Lockie Whitfield and Sam Flanders, twice this season, posing over 40 touches. They were really impressive. And Hogan, once again, with 4 goals, looked head and shoulders above most forwards in that game. This was a bit of a boring game. St Kilda won. They beat the Eagles by 72 points, 113 to 41, and it was just sad to watch, really. Tim Embry wound back the clock with 5 goals. He was outstanding. Jaden Hunt, I thought as well, had a good game for the Eagles, but it was the Marshall Sinclairs, the Steels for St Kilda who were the impressive players. I'm moving swiftly on from that because the outcome of that game doesn't change much about the latter. Another really big game, Hawthorn defeating Collingwood by 66 points, 133 to 67. And from the minute the game started, Hawthorn looked the better team, and they deserved this victory. It was so much better than Collingwood, and we'll talk about the repercussions in a second. First of all, the man at the moment, and the only man we really need to talk about, was Jack Ginnivan, who had an outstanding match, BOG, against his old club. There's clearly some tension there. There's some real need for him to prove Collingwood wrong, and they've seemed to have lost a more important player than what they first thought. Did they value Jack Ginnivan right? I'm not so sure, but he was outstanding this game. The big outcome of this is Collingwood are now in 13th place. They are on equal points with Gold Coast in 12th, and to get into the top 8 for them, they will also need to win 1.5 games. It's not going to happen, well, compared to the ladder now. You'll think they need to win 4 out of the next 5 to make the 8. I don't think they will. They've got a really hard draw. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Let me just call this back. Many people in the AFL sphere believe they won't. I think they will make the 8. I think they're going to finish in 8th place exactly, given my prediction. I think they're going to beat Carlton. They're going to beat Brisbane. Not many other people do, but I just think they will for some reason. But they're more likely to miss out the 8 than not. Awful, awful, awful premiership defence. And for Hawthorn, well fucking done. Well done. They deserve that win. They're outstanding. And even though they're probably not going to make the 8, they are a draw out of the 8 right now in a bit of percentage. On Saturday night, we also had a great game, which was upsetting. for Geelong fans because they lost by 47 points to the Western Bulldogs, 48-95, and the Dogs were better the entire night. And to be completely honest, this is out of the blue for me. Treloar was phenomenal with 3 goals and 31 touches. They've got Ed Richards back fit, and he's super important to that midfield dynamic. The ruck battle between English and DeConey was quite interesting. Look, and Rory Lobb, by the way, let's just give Rory Lobb another round of applause because for someone I have slated his entire career, for someone who has been so poor in recent years, he's gone back to defence instead of staying forward, and he's looked absolutely outstanding, dominating Cameron, I thought. Well, maybe not dominated, but playing really well against him. The Dogs are in 9th place. The Cats are still in the top 8 in 6th place. A really important win for the Dogs, and I think they're probably more likely to make the 8 than not now. They still have a hard draw. I still don't trust Bevo, so I personally don't have them in the 8 at the end of the season. Geelong I do, but for Geelong, to basically have your points doubled by an away team at GMHBA is not good enough. Poor form from them. But Adelaide beat Richmond by 41 points. As we all know, I do a separate video about the Richmond Tigers in that game, so we're going to move swiftly on from that, but we did play better than what I first thought, or than what the scoreline says, sorry. 3 games left. Game of the round, actually, I take that back. Oh, actually, no, this is probably second game of the round, but in terms of importance, game of the round, Brisbane defeated Sydney by 2 points, and it was an Archie late, stunning goal that got the job done for them. Well done to Brisbane. They looked the worst team for most of the night, in my opinion. I thought Sydney, away from home, played better. Yes, they didn't lead for a lot of it, Sydney, but I just thought Sydney were the better team. And still, Brisbane get the job done, even when Lachie Neale wasn't on fire, even when certain players I didn't think had an outstanding game. Thought Joe Danaher led the charge early, and he was really important for that. Look, these are probably the 2 best teams right now, form-wise, Sydney and Brisbane, and it was a massive game, and I still think Sydney should be proud of that performance. They're still 3 wins ahead of Carlton. 2 wins. They're still 2 wins ahead of Carlton, so not much to worry about there, and they've got the percentage, so they can really, they can lose 2 happily. Brisbane in 3rd place, outstanding comeback from them. What's that, 7 or 8 in a row? They're looking so fucking scary. I do think maybe they're still not favourites for top 4, given that every week's been a final for a while for them, but fair fucking play. What a win from them. This game was boring. Fremantle beat Melbourne by 50 points, 116-66. Andy Brayshaw was on smoke. Sarong was on smoke. Melbourne looking frail against the bigger sides, good against the worst sides. That's not going to get you into the top 8, which is why they're in 10th. Fremantle in the top 4 on 46 points. Well fucking done, Fremantle. That was a good win. Josh Tracy as well, continuing an outstanding season. And finally, I did think for a while this game would look differently, but Carlton did get the job done eventually against North Melbourne, winning by 19 points. It was North for large parts of the first half, and then Carlton in that 3rd quarter said, "Suck your mum, I'm going to win this game." And they did. Even though Jerry, Sheasel, even Bailey Scott had a good game, the likes of North Melbourne's had good games. It was, once again, Kerno with 4 goals, playing a good match. Croops with 29 touches, having a good match and 9 clearances. Well done to North. They battled really well, but unfortunately they're still in 17th place. They've been much better these last few weeks. They'll get a win eventually. And for Carlton, they're in 2nd. They're looking okay. Not convincing for me, but you can't complain when you're in the top 2. That's round 19. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow TikTok, FTFooty as well. And I'll be seeing you in another video.